Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris, and on this episode of Garage Noise, we're going to talk about blending a tri-stage finish. I'm going to take you from the start to the finish. We're going to prep out the panel. We're going to talk about masking tips and tricks. We're going to blend the base, the mid coat, the clear coat, and then we'll take a look at the finished product. Let's dig in and get started. This is the vehicle we'll be working on today. It's a 2020 Toyota Camry. I've already painted the rear bumper. The color didn't quite match the way I wanted it to, so we're going to go ahead and blend the quarters. The first thing we're going to do today is we're going to prep out this panel for base and clear. And to do that, we're going to take 600 grit sandpaper. I'm using my Orbital dustless sander. I've got a foam interface pad on it. This allows me to go over the contours and the body lines without burning through. So when you're sanding your panel, you want to make sure to stay away from those edges and those corners. Sand those lightly. Basically, all we're doing is knocking the shine off this panel so the clear will adhere properly. So when I'm prepping out with an orbital sander, I don't sand right up to the edge or on the edges or close to the adjacent panels. What I need to do is mask those off so I can sand all those edges by hand. So now I'm going to mask off this roof with some Roberlo 1-inch tape. This is going to allow me to sand right up to that roof without scratching, accidentally hitting the roof and scratching it. So now I'm going to go around and sand all the edges of this panel with this 3M foam 600 grit pad. Now, you don't have to sand real hard with this. You can burn through if you're right on a body line and you're sanding hard with this pad. Basically, like I said, you want to knock the shine off and get that scratched up so that it clear will adhere properly. And you won't have an issue peeling with it peeling later on. Now, as far as the door jamb, I'm going to go down and I'm going to kind of wrap it around this door edge just a little bit. Now we're going to mask this off and I'll show you how we do that, but you want to sand just over that edge so when clear blows in there, it's going to adhere to that door jamb. I'm also going to go around the rest of this panel and just look for any shiny areas that I might have missed with the DA. Make sure everything's sanded properly. This is an important step for adhesion. Once I finish the sanding process on this panel, we're going to go ahead and blow it off, and then we're going to wash it with some wax and grease remover. That'll clean off any contaminants. So now we're going to do our final masking, and the tape I'm using is made by Roberlo. And what's cool about this tape, it's semi-transparent, so you can see through it. So it's kind of nice here. You can see where that black edge starts on the roof. You can mask right on that line, so it comes in helpful in different situations. And I will leave the links to all the products and tools I use in the description below. So when you're masking off your vehicle, you just want to be really precise. So take your time, put on your glasses in my case so I can see, and put it right on that line. You don't want to have any issues with overspray or over masking onto the pan. So just take your time and you'll get a better finished product. So let me give you a little tip when you're masking something like this. I'm going to let a little tape hang over into that jamb, and this is going to be easy for me to pull that tape after we clear. Now we're going to pull that before this clear fully cures because we want that line to be smooth. Now this is the foam tape I'm using for the door jambs. I got it off Amazon, so you can check out the link below. So this foam tape has a tacky edge, so it allows you to lay it in the jamb of a panel, and then you can shut the trunk and it'll create a soft edge after you clear. We don't want any clear coat blowing in that edge and creating overspray. It just does not look professional. It doesn't give you a clean job. So you just lay it in there. You don't stretch it, don't pull it. Just lay it softly in there, make sure it adheres properly, and you'll be good to go. So now I'm going to go ahead and use this soft edge foam tape in the door jamb, and I always like to mask off all my door jambs first, and that just makes sense because you don't want to mask off the outside and then you won't be able to open the doors. So do those jambs first, and then you'll move on to the outside. And this is how that foam tape should look when you shut the door. It's going to allow that clear to go just over that edge, but not into the jamb. And then we're going to mask off that door so that it doesn't have any overspray. Now I'm going to finish off the masking. I've went around and I've put a single line of tape around that entire panel. We're going to mask off this taillight pocket, and then we'll put plastic over this entire vehicle. Okay, so now we got it all masked off and ready to base. Now this is a tri-stage finish, so it comes with a base white, then there'll be a mid-coat pearl that goes over top of it, and then we'll put a clear coat over top of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from the bottom up, and where that bumper meets, I'm going to blend out into the panel. Now I'm going to put one coat of white on the edge, and you see me doing it here. And I'm going to let that set and cure. Then I will go over and I'll put one more coat over it. Okay, so now I'm going to put the second coat of base on this, and you see me blending it out into the panel there. That's all it takes for the base, okay? I want the edge of that panel to be solid white. So I'm not using my complete fan pattern to spray that panel. I'm doing about 50% right on the edge. So about the middle of the spray pattern, I'm going around the edge. And then at the last part, I'll blend it out into the panel, just for the base. Now we're going to go ahead and lay down the mid coat. Now I am using the Sagola 3300 GTO. If you haven't seen the review on this gun, check it out. Link is in the description. So this particular pearl white takes one heavy coat of pearl mid coat to match the color of the rest of the vehicle. So that's all I'm doing is one coat. And what I'm doing is I'm starting at the edge, I'm putting one heavy coat and blending it out into the panel, making sure I get past the base. So I want to make sure that base is covered and it's blending into the rest of the panel. Now I will do one little dust coat over the middle part of this quarter panel in order to let that pearl lay on that and blend in with the rest of the color. And that's it as far as the blend is concerned. Okay, so now that we've let the base cure for 10 minutes, we're going to go ahead and apply the first coat of clear. This is a medium to wet coat of clear called the Tack coat. This is going to allow a good base for the second coat of clear to adhere to. So when you're spraying clear, you want to have a consistent distance from the panel at all times. You want to be about 4 to 6 inches away. You want to have a consistent speed across the panel. You don't want to be starting and stopping on the panel at all. As far as your air pressure, that's going to vary depending on the gun, the person, and how you spray. I'm running this at about 28 psi of air pressure today, and I'm using 2.5 turns out on the volume. It's a little bit of a hotter day, so I want to have a little bit more volume coming out of this gun and a little bit more pressure to atomize it. So that's what I'm using today. And my arm movement and speed is just a little bit slower today. So you want to be sure you're evaluating the clear as it's laying on this panel and making sure that it's laying out smooth. You're not having excessive orange peel or dry spray. Okay, let's switch over to the POV so you have a better look at how this clear is laying down. This is the second and final coat of clear. I'm going to lay it on a little bit heavier and get this clear to flow out like glass. Okay, let's take a look at the finished product. And as you can see, this clear coat laid out like glass. There's very little dust in this paint job, and the blend looks amazing. It's pretty good for spraying in an open garage. And if you want more tips and tricks on how to spray clear like glass, check out this video now. As always, thanks for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Like, subscribe, share this video to support the channel. We'll see you next time. For sneak peeks on upcoming videos, be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Links are in the description.